disappointed with how things
Alright guys,
played out for
healing
Tyler.
here, back for more. It's about 5 row. We're continuing on.
This is what I was expecting from the jury, that, Tyler takes out Danny. They're like, ooh, he made his move. It's Tyler's game to maybe lose. And then, we hear from Ian. Cody and Tyler are the two running the game, so he's expecting to see one of them. And then to watch Cody win the first HOH, and then win the veto in such a dominating fashion, and sending Tyler out. I think it really cemented for them, this is Cody's game to lose. This guy needs to be stopped, and if he's not, then they deserve to lose. And that's really the sense that I got there.
Also, we talked about last night on the show that, boy, they really did Tyler dirty with his BB comic.
They
didn't really make a deal out of Tyler timing out on the veto competition, which ultimately determines your life game. But I feel like that they dove into that a little bit more now that Tyler's out of the game. How it's timed out on a veto that Cody won in under 5 minutes.
Well, also, I feel like
Can't we just beat the
I
crap
just
out
feel
of
like
him and
Tyler's
call
one
it
of
a
those
day?
players, I always say this
all those
on every
soldiers,
podcast that I've been on, I didn't want to watch an All-Star season without Tyler. I'm honored with that.
Don't you want him to
And I
confess
feel like
his sins? There's
Tyler's
no point
such a
beating
big
him
name
up.
that he should have
We need
had
to
a more,
steal his materialized
iconic
desires.
comic. And it was
The
just about,
treasure.
what was it, his
I
curls or
know.
something
It
like
was
that?
Where is
Abra,
it?
Curl
It
Dabra.
has to be
Yeah.
somewhere in the depths of this castle. Let's
I
infiltrate
don't-
further in while he's out here.
I don't know. I feel like it should have been a little bit more of along the lines of, the Janelle, the bombshell one, or something better than curls.
He looks very frail.
Yes.
Yes.
Very frail.
Very frail. So, anyway, the jury is impressed with Cody, and we hear a little bit of reactions from the other players. Is there anything of note in terms of how the jury is looking at the Final Four?
Remember how
I mean,
taught you
I
hold-ups
think in
and all-out
particular,
attacks?
you
I'll
heard
teach you the
from
practical
Ian
use
that
now.
he
There's
is
another use
most
for
looking at
hold-ups,
Tyler and
besides
Cody.
simply
Tyler
defeating
comes in,
enemies.
so we can assume that he's
Shadows
like,
are
okay,
beings born
Cody's
from people's
his number
hearts.
one at this
So
point.
naturally they can talk,
And
too.
I
In
think
other
very
words, you can
importantly, we heard
communicate
from
with them.
Kevin,
Get it?
probably the person who
If you
has
talk
the
to them
most
when they're
reason and the
cornered,
most
they might
evidence
offer
that
money
we've
or
seen
items
to be
since they don't want to
anti-Cody.
die.
Be
In fact,
like,
talking
man,
has a
Tyler
better chance of
walking in
scoring something
really
great,
switched my
as
brain
opposed to
around,
just
and now I
coughing
think it's
them.
all about Cody.
Well
And
then,
Kevin is
let's
the
do
one
the
saying,
first step.
if nobody cuts
Knock all
Cody,
the enemies
they
down and
deserve
do a
to lose.
hold-up.
So if Kevin is feeling that way, I think that is the way.
Okay, I see you, Cody.
Incredible
Yes,
Joker!
yes. So it's really looking like Cody's to lose at this point. Notably, nothing really about Nicole this time around. We got some about Nicole
Well,
last
something
week with
along those
Devon being
lines.
anti-Nicole and
Now
Danny
let it
being
be money or
anti-Nicole.
items.
This week we
Just
got
cough it
Danny
up.
being a bit anti-Enzo. That's not surprising given what she said in the house. But we did get a little bit of pushback.
Oh, wait, what?
I think both from Kevin
This
and
isn't
from
how I was
Devon.
planning this to
Kevin
go.
saying like, hey, it was part of his strategy.
if that's
Devon
the
telling
case,
us like, hey, I kind
I
of want
guess
to
it's
vote for
time for
Enzo,
you to
he's
go
gonna
to
need
hell.
do something first. And so I think that
Sorry, but we're in a
good
hurry.
to know that those relationships that Enzo developed still exist. They still are there. But we also heard from Tyler something I think which is very important, which is I told Enzo if you want a chance of winning, you have to get Cody out, and they're all nodding their
What the-
heads. And I think the fact that Tyler told him as well, it's like doubly bad if it doesn't happen. So I think Enzo, like I said, does have a chance against somebody like Nicole, depending on how it plays out. But it's looking like nobody stands a chance against him.
Yeah, and I think you'll have to wait for 1 week from tonight to find out what the jury house thinks about Nicole when they watch the footage of Nicole's HOH and veto win in this week, sending Memphis out the door.
Yes, and I actually thought this was very interesting, the goodbye messages. Now, unless there's more to Nicole's goodbye message, I was very underwhelmed by it, and I was very impressed with Cody's, because basically I feel like what Cody did is he just took complete credit over the Memphis boot, because Memphis is going to go to the jury house and say, yep, Cody voted me out because he knew about my whole strategy, because he had secretly been with Enzo, and that's why I got evicted, because Cody knew this information, and Nicole is just going to be an afterthought.
And an assist from Enzo who says, like, yeah, this is what I wanted to do, yo, but the house made me do it, which is basically Cody. So he basically said, I have no agency in any of this either.
It's so disappointing. His goodbye messages have
Okay,
been
is that
so
what he's the turn
disappointing.
now?
I've been seeing a lot of people say that on Twitter, and I could not agree more. He could be saying way more to take some sort of, you know, I guess ownership of saying, you know, I'm trying to lay low, whatever the case. But he's not even talking about the game period. He's just saying, oh, I voted with the House.
Because, like, I don't think he's serious when he says that's it. Like, so serious. Like, when he's been telling us since day one. Like, that's it. Okay,
Yeah.
what you see is what you get,
from Earth?
alright?
Yeah.
I'm out of here. That's
Did
it.
you take in the
I think
shadows
it's
of
fine
appearance and
as long as he
powers
plans
as a
on cutting
persona?
Cody. Like, I think,
Yeah.
because again, like, he's making that his storyline. His whole storyline now is, well, I really like him. He obviously likes me, but he doesn't done anything. So, if he does cut Cody, I think it's a slam dunk for Enzo. But if he doesn't, then he's sitting next to Cody and he loses. So, it's really, which would have probably happened anyway.
I think Enzo is a good player, but I think that early in the season we thought that maybe he was an elite player, and I think that he is proving to us that there's a ceiling to his game.
It's funny because in the preseason we were pretty low on Enzo because his biggest
It's a
problem.
TV basement.
Right, yeah, like he can do well, he can bond alliances together, he can probably make a deep run, but does he have win equity? And then the season started and we're like, oh man, it looks like we were wrong about Enzo. And then it's like, oh, maybe after all of this, maybe we were right all along.
Yeah. Even at God tier. I want to say it's the Jury House, because I think this was interesting that we got this on the show. Devon has a question for Tyler that she wanted to ask him about during the game when it was on Christmas's HOH. You said you wanted to go home and take the spot of either Devon or Bailey for the Black Lives Matter movement. Devon wanted to ask him, was that strategic?
Is such a feat impossible?
And Tyler said
Even I've never
that
seen
no,
anyone pull that off.
he was completely serious, and Devon was really relieved
course
to hear
it
that.
is.
But
Only
come on,
one
that
heart
was-
exists per
that was the
person, so
issue, that
normally a
Devon
person
thought
can only
that
have
it
one
was
persona.
that it was a game move.
Incredible.
I thought that she
That
was
ability will give us a
upset
huge
that,
advantage in
he just
battle.
wanted to go
All
see
right.
his girlfriend.
Try to do
and
that
he was
even more
saying
if the opportunity
it was
arises.
for the movement.
You better help out too,
So, yeah, I
Skull.
thought the conversation was framed a little differently than what I would have liked to have
up.
seen. I think that the general message is that I think that what she wanted to hear at the end of it all was that was not that, like, he was serious when he said that and he meant that.
I like you even more
I'm
now.
under the impression, like I'm not at the jury house, but I'm under the impression that they have much more time when the cameras are not off, when the cameras are off, to talk,
Alright.
and I'm sure that they probably went into a little bit more detail.
Oh, yeah, I'm
it
going
seemed like
there.
that was packaged in a way that production wanted to get this message out of there. I am glad that it happened because, I mean, Devon and Tyler are my favorite players in Big Brother. They just are. I've wanted them on the season since we found out about All Stars. I'm sad that things worked out
Treasure
this
chest
way,
spotted.
but
Let's open
I'm glad that there is some sort of reconciliation between the two of them. I think that there is still. I wish that there was a bit more of a dialogue about, hey, it's fine if Christmas didn't want you to go home. It's fine if production interfered, but you could have at least told us before we went out the door looking stupid. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that conversation probably did happen. I think that production wanted a message to get out there. And I personally, I believe Tyler. I never believed that he had any ill will in his heart. I just wanted the conversation to take place so that people could understand, like, look, that was not okay, y'all. Like, that was you can be a very good person and make mistakes, and you made a mistake. And I'm glad that you talked to it.
Any your power.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think it was ever in doubt that his motivation was he wanted to go home.
No, yeah, I think he wanted out. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the house, Devon and Kevin in particular did think, well, maybe this was all a game. Especially once she found out that Tyler and Christmas had a final two. She was like, oh, so he knew that she would never evict him. So it must have all been a ploy. So I think there was a question in her head, and that's obviously why she asked. And I think to us who were able to watch it from above, we saw that he really did want to quit. But I think for her, she just had that lingering doubt inside.
Okay, yeah, she thought that there was some sort of like strategic element to it, which there clearly wasn't.
Which I never really understood why you would think that, because what is the
upside
goal?
Yeah.
Like, what do you achieve out of snowing them, using Black Lives Matter, and then
Missed
they
that placement
then
earlier.
Bailey like what do you get? I don't know.
What's up
I
with
never
this
really
app?
understood that
Just said the
argument,
word Sakamoto
but
said and
nonetheless,
I...
I'm glad that the two of them.
Princess?
It was really.
Huh?
It was heartwarming to see the two of them sort of come together, and I personally needed that as a fan of the both of them. It really helped me.
Aren't there even
Past
more
that.
shadows here than
Okay.
before?
Let's keep
Just
the
getting this
good
far has been a real
feelings
pain in
coming
my
because
ass.
it's time for
It's all because you guys
some
provoked
videos
Kamoshida, you
from
know.
home. Harry, have
Still,
they done this
He
before?
seems to be awfully on
In
guard.
the jury house, I don't think
Videos
so.
in the
Anyways,
jury
how
house?
are we
Yeah.
supposed to steal
Boy,
that
what a
treasure
year
thing?
2020. First, all
so
the
hasty.
Survivor 40
trying
contestants
to secure
get
an
loved one
infiltration.
messages. Don't doubt that
what?
the people in
A
the
path
house
to the
aren't
treasure's
getting theirs
location.
somewhat soon.
Honestly,
Look for
I
that
think
one
we'll
of
need a
these
little
nights
more manpower
this
in order
week.
to accomplish
And
this.
then
At the very
all of
least,
the
one
Brother
more person
contestants
would be
get
nice.
videos from home.
Hey, you
Yeah, and I
Remember
think they
this.
knew that they were going to get this
somehow you still
like
know
prior to
about
coming
that
on
kind
the
of
season.
stuff?
I think it was part of like
you
the
think
like,
this
hey,
thing's
you know,
really
if you
gone
make
Yeah,
it,
amnesia?
we're gonna give
Didn't
you
Dave on you get like a call or something? I think I heard her say that on the feeds at some point.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mr. Step above
Yeah,
that,
so,
moron.
I liked it. I like.
Don't call me a
Honestly, I like
moron.
spending time with the jury.
Shut up,
I
What
don't
if it
like
turns
that
out you're just some straight cat
we
man?
don't usually get much from them.
can't be.
I think that we were
Why was
watching
the
these people
princess
for
in
so
such an
long,
odd
and then they're just gone just like that, and we see so little of them. It's nice to check in and get a sense of where they're at, and I like
Production
hearing
knows.
I was
They
just gonna say that.
They know.
Who's this princess they're talking about?
Yeah,
You
I
got
like
Ian, you
hearing.
got
should
Davon,
probably
you got all
look
these
into
people
this.
up in there, and then in the house you got
And yet
Memphis
another
and Christmas and Nicole and
Stuff
Cody
like
and
the
Enzo.
castle
Come
and
on.
that navigation app on
You know what we
Mysterious?
want. And I'm glad that they
Gotta
did.
both be.
They want to fill
Thursday
the
night's
show with
best night of the week.
they want to fill the show with people that they know that the fans love.
Oh crap!
Yeah, they have like two
What was I again?
former house
Oh,
guests
yes,
as
stop.
loved ones. Like they're gonna really pass
Yeah.
up
This is
the
bad.
opportunity to show off
That was
Angela
fast.
and Dominic.
Your friend, Lady On.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
She's been taken
so
by
we
shadows.
got to hear from
Wait,
Kevin's
what?
husband,
We sent her home earlier.
the opener.
Oh,
If
he's
Lady
so
On
cute.
doesn't
Oh my
take
god,
half
good for Kevin.
Yeah.
It could be possible.
Yeah. We got
no.
to see
Don't tell me
David's
you
dad.
got
I love
one of
David's
hers just like
dad.
mine.
He looks just like him. Oh my god.
We let her
I
out
know,
for her
it
own
was
safety,
scary.
and she just came back in by herself.
Oh my god, you look just like your dad. And then here I am saying, oh my god, Dave, you look just like your dad. I was like, oh my god. The gene pool is deep.
I
should
love
write
seeing David again. Like I didn't realize until I saw him just how much I miss his like positive energy and enthusiasm. for
Positive
being
vibe.
there. Yeah. It was so
I'll
nice
just
to like
take
see
this.
him and
No,
and
that's
he
not
was
what I want.
smiling. It was good.
What's the menu?
Yeah.
Triangle.
We got
I
to
don't
see
see
also
something here.
Ian's girlfriend check in there.
I thought it was super sweet when Tyler was like, you gotta marry that one or something along the lines. I thought that was super sweet.
Yeah. Slow down, bro.
Yeah, like you don't know those
What's
people.
the rush? Yeah.
Hey there. Yeah, let's
You
go.
got to see Davon's little girl.
Okay,
I
let's go.
know, Cadence. I mean, the true BB All-Star. I mean, she was on BB-17 as a baby, and now she's back as like this big girl that can put words together and has like a smile and can talk and all this stuff. And I'm like,
I fucked up.
that's
One enemy.
so cute.
Do it.
Danny.
The little headphones. I love that.
I know,
She
I know.
looks like a Twitch streamer.
We got to see Dom and Tennessee and Dawn.
All knocked down.
So
That
good
was
to see Dom.
And there was he had a cat on his lap too.
I feel like I missed that.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because he said three. There were three of them, right? Yeah. But yeah, I like yes, yeah. Bill and Chai. He looks exactly the same.
A spectacular
Right,
he does.
victory.
It's insane.
Not aged at all.
He was like 21, right? When he was on the season?
It was like 25, wasn't
Like 20 or 21.
Like it's like Dorian Gray over there.
Maybe big brother, like pretty
Smart. Yeah. And then finally, we
fuck.
also got to see Angela, and they broke Tyler.
Look, those two are in love.
This way.
Like,
Yeah.
like that. I saw that and I was like, there's nothing that's gonna break y'all apart. Like that. Wow. Yeah. Good for them.
She totally doesn't.
I feel like I never see her get
Let's
very
hurry.
emotional.
Right.
I mean,
Save her.
judging from, on BB20, I don't know her personally,
Now
but I mean,
this.
judging from what we saw on TV, I feel like she never really got emotional. She was like starting to cry. I mean, Tyler.
What's all this
Heart
about?
wrenching, like she's
Seriously,
missing him a
I'm
lot.
gonna call the cops.
He's been missing her. Like we've known
So,
it since the
this
get-go,
is
and
the
that's
intruder.
a big reason as to why Tyler has not had his head in the game. And if that's what's on his heart, like I'm not gonna knock the guy for
Who's
not being able
that?
to play the best game that he possibly
More
could, because
importantly,
obviously
what is
he's
this place?
wanting to go
Why is
home
the
to
school
somebody
turned
he
into
really,
something
really,
like this?
really adores. So
I can't
I'm
believe
happy
you
that they're
mistook
going to
my
be
aunt
reunited.
for someone like her.
Yeah, and she obviously knows like how hard it has been for Tyler,
Are you
and you can
afraid?
tell in the message
that
like
outfit?
how hard she is trying
lost your
to
mind?
like give him
Together.
all
Was that
of the
pleasing?
I'm
Did
proud
Pizza
of you,
Princess?
This
like
is
all
my
of the
castle.
positive vibes, like every
World of
positive.
No, you don't send positive vibes.
Enzo won HOH.
Sure he like understands. Like,
God
hey,
damn.
I'm still with you.
What
I'm
a
still
lively
supporting you.
slave.
Like you should be proud of yourself.
This
Like
isn't
any
funny.
possible angle to make
Enough
sure
of
that
the
he feels
bullshit
as
coming
Ooh.
comforted as possible.
If Christmas wins 0.
We went back to the house then
Talking
for
back
our
is like
speeches.
totally unforgivable.
Christmas, she was running at
We're kind of in the scenario now where,
so many times now. Memphis tried to have a little bit of his Hail Mary.
Cody
to
could go
say,
home.
Like, hey,
And of course I went all in on Cody, by the way.
Tear you into
The
little
stopwatch.
Bring your word. Me, Memphis.
Are you kidding me?
Towards the end of the speech, I thought something had happened, and like something happened between him and Cody, and like he was gonna throw Cody under the bus for something. But then it was some kind of weird comment about, what was it, like grease in the kitchen or
Oh
something?
yeah, the start of the
Right.
fire.
I was about
Yeah,
to start enjoying
Yeah.
myself.
So I believe it was David
What's
that
the
started
deal
the
with
grease
this
fire,
guy?
and then Cody grabbed the fire extinguisher and was just like, wait, how does this? And then Memphis just like ripped it out of his hands
I
and
bet you
put
just
out the
like those
fire.
days.
Yeah.
You came because you're pissed at me, huh?
That's what he was
But,
referring to.
And I was like, dang.
I forgot
was
that chick's
something.
name.
But no.
It's your fault
Yeah.
she jumped, you know.
By the way, in the jury house, they talked
Wow.
about like, hey Tyler.
Yeah, I mean,
you
this
should go to the
veto,
jury
I mean, if
mansion.
Christmas
So
wins
fun.
this veto, Cody's gone.
Take your breath.
No bats, David.
We haven't seen any
Which,
of
I
like
mean,
fucking bad, have we?
In my opinion, if Cody loses at this point this season, what is this season?
Example.
Yeah. Okay. Ultimately, Memphis
sit back
is
and
going
enjoy
to
the
be voted out by a vote
deciding
of 2-0. Come on, did Memphis seem a little salty to you?
Maybe I'll start with the
Not
clothes.
really, and I really didn't expect him to be that way. I was praying for a blind side today because
what are we gonna do?
if we were gonna get anything, it would have come from a blind side. But he's just been so
Okay.
Memphis this whole
this?
season. Like he's very
This is where
such
she
an
gets it.
unflappable person, which is kind of a bit of
That's more
a stark
like it.
contrast from what
We
we've
should've
seen back
looked
in
like
the
this
because
from
he was
the
ready to
start.
knock Jerry's head off like at one point. So I'm like it is what it is. Like I'm glad that he's able to have like a cool head about him about this game. I would have liked to see a little bit more sulk, to be honest. Like not because I want to see Memphis be upset, but because I just want to see something happen.
Don't
Like I just
want
want
that.
something. Like give me
Whatever.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let him this
but he's
piece
like,
of
oh yeah, whatever.
shit
Yeah,
toy with me.
like I'm not mad at all. I'm gonna go to the jury and sing all their praises. They're all great
What was I
people. They
thinking?
come to my restaurant. I'm even
Like
picking them
I
up a
always
drink. Like no, be mad. 1
slaves
second.
should just
Be
be
mad for
behaving.
1 second, please.
Shut up.
For a guy that was just
I've had enough of
blindsided
this.
like that,
You
honestly,
pissed
that's
me
probably
off, you
one of
son of a bitch.
the like calmest blindside interviews I've ever seen. It's pretty rare that somebody's like genuinely expecting to say blindsided in.
I don't remember her
especially
persona.
this late in the game. And then
I feel like I remember most of the other ones, but I don't remember hers.
crazy pissed. And like
It gets so that close. Like you were that close, and you leave. I just.
We can finally
Oh, y'all can do that to me. I would not go quietly into that Dark Knight. Like, no.
Oh, no.
you can see that Memphis was
No
like
more holding back.
annoyed. Like, I can't believe that just happened. But he really held it together.
I feel like old Memphis, like Amani just touched on, he was gonna rip Jerry's head off. I feel like if that was him right now, he would be in Blindsided today, I feel like he would pull a whistle nut. Like, I feel like the whistle nut blindside was one of
I don't
my
know this.
recent favorite blindsides. And I feel like he would have done that, right? I don't know. Memphis, come on, you disappoint us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cornbread.
I'm not some cheap girl.
He did swear on the way out. Did you make out what he said?
I mean, I assume he said like see ya assholes or
You
something.
destroyed her.
Whoa.
Now it's your
That's the
turn.
best we can do. Come on,
I will
Memphis.
That's
rob you
his
of
catchphrase?
everything.
Yeah.
What context does he use that catchphrase?
All the time. That's what makes sure to catch me.
I think Nicole Anthony like used it for him
No,
tonight.
I
That's all her
love
tweet
you.
said. Like, oh, the words of Memphis.
No one
See you
can
later.
stop me now.
Wow. Okay.
Let's get him, Carmen.
He just like bounced from the conversation to say that.
Okay. Wow.
He's very big on like insult humor. That's his thing.
Yeah. Okay. Here he is talking with Julie. I thought this was the highlight of the interview for me.
You want to be fluid a little bit, but at the same time, it's like those are
you
my.
were fluid.
You were
fluid,
Memphis. You had a lot of feelings going.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Let's give him hell.
Seems pretty solid. Yeah.
Memphis' game was literally
Oh, fuck off.
the exact opposite of fluid. It was the most
Oh, fuck off.
game I've ever honestly seen work that well.
Yeah.
The biggest like
Fuck.
fluid thing that you
Is this everything?
was the whole wise guy thing, but even that was comprised mainly of people that were already in the committee, minus Enzo. So like, really?
Yeah.
Well, also, didn't they show a segment of him telling
Also, he used
Tyler,
the fire.
hey man, I'm sending you home? I don't think that's very fluid because
No.
he's basically saying, there's no way you're gonna convince me.
won't work right
That's the opposite of fluid.
Opposite of fluid.
That's fun.
Cody's game is very fluid. He sets up like 5 different alliances, and the one that wins competitions is the one that he chooses. And he sets up 5 different sub-alliances within the alliances. Whichever one works out, he goes with that one. That's fluid gameplay. Memphis said these 6 people, and then in week 7, I'm gonna make 2 final 3s with these 3 other people, and then my final 2 is this person, and then we're gonna do it this way. And then you follow that playbook.
Yeah, like if you're gonna be fluid, you don't say you let the cards fall where they may. You force the hand. You know what I mean? Like you make sure that those cards are coming to you. So
Oh, I forgot he can do this with melee too.
Okay.
I don't want
Then
them. I
Memphis
guess
got
he uses a gun.
goodbye messages.
Yeah, that was okay.
Said to him, "He loved playing with you. You're unique, incredible person." But Amon, she didn't go too over the top.
you know, I was underwhelmed. I thought there was much more to come, but I guess not.
He's always most
Should be,
loyal
yeah.
to Memphis. Like, hold on, Christmas. This is not Big Brother 19. You know, just to make stuff up about your experience.
I'm even more charming.
You chose to be loyal to Memphis like 3 weeks ago, max. Before then, you were most loyal to Tyler by a large margin.
Why'd you come
In fact,
here,
when you
man?
were invited
And
into the
more
committee,
importantly,
you were
how?
like, ew, gross.
Is
I
that how
don't
to
want to
speak to a
do that.
woman?
Mm-hmm.
Are you all right, Lady On?
Okay.
Lady
Ultimately,
on? Wait,
we're going
what is
to
this thing? Is it
hear
alive?
from
How
Cody.
did it
We
talk?
touched on this earlier about how
Where in the
that
world
he
are
loved
we?
their final 2, but
Just calm down.
you made 2
Everything's
wise
going to be
guys.
okay.
Cody
Don't
needs to
worry.
give himself his best chance to win,
How am I
which I thought,
supposed to calm
Karen, that
down?
was very Memphis speak to Memphis.
Huh?
Exactly. It was exactly
Why
what
am I
Memphis
dressed
did,
like this?
and it was very like game respect game kind of thing. Like you know, you thought you were playing one on me, but I was actually a step ahead, without making it seem too like I got you. And so the thing is, my best route to the end is, you know, you're
hell are
just
you
too good.
thinking?
You're just too good.
You're
And
good.
I need.
Oh, that's the other thing. We did get news today too that we're only going to be getting one Australian Survivor season next year.
Let's
I
retreat.
mean,
Which is
Memphis and
fine.
Cody
I
from
think I'm
day
like-
one have had
Obviously,
mutual respect because it was
we were
like,
supposed to go
is
to
it the
a year,
Renegades
sure, that
or is
would've
it
been cool,
this?
but,
That kind of thing. Like,
no,
oh, well, why don't we
whatever.
just come together type of situation.
give me your arm.
And I feel like
You take the other
that,
side.
that's the first thing
I wonder
that I
what
thought
they're
of when I
gonna
was
do
watching
though,
Memphis
because they are
Cody's
talking about it at
goodbye
like
message.
saying
So,
that
like, he's probably
it's such a
remembering all of
hassle
this.
to do
He's gonna
one
take
that
that
they,
for sure back to the jury house
they're
with him.
not
I
gonna
feel
be
like
able
he's
to do
kind of a
two.
lock on Cody if Cody were to get
Thanks.
there.
Okay.
Looks like we
Julie
made it back.
teased, or the announcer teased
Hey,
at
you
the opening of
okay?
the show that Kaser
Well,
would be back with a
pretty much.
special
Wait,
message,
I
and
lied.
Julie
I'm
brings
still
the house
confused
guests
about all this.
back to the living room,
You may be
and
safe now,
this was
but a
a
lot
little
sure
bit of
did
a
happen
surprise
back there.
for the house guests.
At any rate, we stand out too much here.
Expect the
Let's
unexpected.
relocate to a safer spot.
Can I just say that Julie has been so like personable this season? She's so I feel like she's a little bit more
Which one you
comfortable.
want?
She just says what she wants. She
Sarah's
has
not
it.
carbonated.
Oh my gosh, she is,
they're both actually.
COVID has changed her. That's all I
Um,
say. Yeah. I feel like she does not,
Here you
she's
go.
not able to like feel her daily oats on the top anymore,
What
so
about
she's
me?
giving it all to us on Big Brother, which,
Huh?
you know what,
But
fine.
you're a cat.
Okay, everybody,
Have you calmed down, Lady Anne?
Yeah, it's like that
Morgana,
trying to like
I
do
really
that
am
thing where like
talking to
somebody's
a
like
cat.
whining
This
and
feels
then she's
so
trying to like
strange.
whine back
Oh,
like in
sorry.
a mocking way.
You're
Where,
not a
like,
cat,
the
right?
content of what she's saying has
It's
like
only natural
nothing
that
to
you're
like,
confused.
it
Demanding
doesn't
that you understand
fit
all
what
of this
she's
right
doing.
after what you went through is asking
like,
too
he's
much.
like, no, come on,
Honestly,
Julie. She's not
still
like,
can't believe
come
what
on,
happened.
Cody.
That
Like
power.
that's
Yeah,
what you
that's how you
normally
do it,
do.
yeah.
Instead, it's like she was planning
the
on
will of
saying
your
expect the
rebellion, Lady
unexpected,
Anne.
but instead she got like
With
her
it,
wires
You'll
crossed.
be able to fight
She's
in
like,
that other world.
expect the unexpected.
It was a
So
great
if
deep
what
dive,
you told
yeah.
me is
Yeah,
true,
amazing
then my
analysis
Kamoshida
there.
have a change of heart,
Just-
right? Is it really possible? Can we
Yeah.
actually
All
force
right.
him to confess his
So
crimes?
we go to the backyard, and hey,
The
it's a
volleyball team's keeping quiet
flashback
about
to
this
something
while
we did
teachers
talk
and
about
parents turn a
coming
blind
into
eye.
this season.
If
Lavina,
guys like us try
Night
and complain,
Moves is
just gonna
back.
shoot us
We're
down.
working on the
Going all
Night
in on this plan
Moves.
is the only choice we
I'm
got.
so excited.
It
First of
seems
all, I
like-
wasn't expecting that. I was
They
already
wanna-
Yeah,
excited for
it's cool to bring back Night Moves. It's so weird though that it's gonna be with
There's
three
like
people.
3 or 4 minutes left
Even
of the
after
show.
what he did to
What are
her.
they gonna do with Kaser?
And like I feel like with
Never
But then I
like
saw
who
he
was
was
there, like it
introducing
was
this
kind of
HOH
obvious Enzo was
competition,
gonna
and
win.
I
Or at
was
least
like,
Enzo
I
was in a
was
very strong
absolutely
position
not
to win.
expecting this.
Where
Maybe this
obviously
season.
Enzo and Cody were gonna
Okay,
gang up
All-Stars
against
I feel like we might get
Christmas,
thrown
but
off
Christmas was
watching.
going after Cody, so it's like that
If I
leaves
throw back
Enzo with a
into
pretty easy path
What
there.
should we do?
86 throwback, that kind of era. But we did it, and we didn't see, you know, a lot of the favorites, but now we are, and I'm super
I agree
excited.
as well.
Okay.
We are lacking
Karen,
in
we got
manpower
the
after all.
flashback to
Don't worry.
the
I'll protect
BB6
her.
of it all, but
Even
how
if
is
you
this
said no,
competition
I'd
going
just
to
go
work
alone.
with 3 people?
Ah, right. She can go by herself.
It'll just be 3 people.
I guess it'd be more
So how it
dangerous
works is
turning
that
it
you
down.
you move in the amount of spaces that
Then
a
it's
knight
decided.
does. So like
Yes.
2
Well,
across, 1
I
or
hope you
2
get
across,
along.
whatever it is. And
I'm going to make
and then you
Kamoshida
land on a space,
atone
you
for what I
turn
did.
over the tile.
Not
Now
just for
nobody can
Shiva's
land on that
sake,
tile. And
but
you
for
keep going
everything he's
until
done.
you
I
run
won't
out of
let
spaces
any more
to
people
land on.
suffer because
Got
of
it.
him. I'll
So
do
basically,
whatever it
3
takes.
people will start, and then they'll just I'm not sure like how to do it symmetrically. One person might be at a disadvantage if they start like in the middle of 2 other people.
I forgot, does it tell us what date this
where
actually takes
they
place on?
do that. Maybe there's like mathematically like a solid place to start each person. But that's basically how it works.
A group like
Big Brother
yours
6,
must have relied on
what they
subtlety
did
and
was that
misdirection.
They had 4,
Otherwise,
I
you'd
believe,
never
competitors
survive.
against the 2 from the friendship.
Some of you
and
might
so they
even
were
have been
able to just
hiding behind a
immediately,
public face their entire
block
lives.
out the other 2 from the friendship and eliminate
If you're
them.
listening,
and
then answer me.
Give James the win. This was actually also played in Big Brother 16.
am thou.
It was
Thou
a battle of the
art
block
Thou
where
hast
Cody
acquired
actually
a new
became the head of
vow.
household because Amber
It shall become the
and
wings of rebellion
Jocasta
that breaketh thy chains of captivity.
Victoria and Brittany.
With the
So,
birth of the
Cody has
lover's
witnessed,
persona, I
So
Victoria-
he
have
does know how to
obtained
play
the wings
this.
of blessing that shall
Yes,
lead to freedom
you guys
and
seen
new
it
power.
before. Cody also, you know, is pretty good at these kinds of games. He actually beat Ian in backgammon once at least, which is pretty hard to do. And I would expect him to do very well in this competition.
Just
now,
let me know when you're heading back.
The thing is about this is that obviously Cody and
wait.
Enzo can team up
We don't have
against
each other's
Christmas,
info.
and they probably
Hey,
will at
give
the
me your
start.
number and chat ID.
But
And,
because Christmas will want Cody to lose more than Enzo to lose, she will perhaps
counting
be
on
able
you
to
then.
lock Cody into a spot.
Same
and
goes for you,
essentially,
Morgana.
like as she loses,
The
take
pleasure
out
is
Cody
all
with
mine,
her,
Lady
which
Anne.
could give Enzo the win as long as Enzo's confident
What a
enough
kind
to
girl.
take what she gives him, and she's
Such
confident enough
admirable
to actually
consideration
manage
for
Yeah,
others.
that's a lot of
And
ifs.
the
I'm
innocence
not
to cast
subscribing
herself
to
into
that
the jaws
theory.
of death to achieve
And also
her goal.
Enzo did not
She
seem
cares
like
about
he
her
had any
friends, and
idea
she's
what this was
beautiful to
gonna be
boot.
about.
What a girl. She's captured my heart.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay. Well,
Dude,
Hold on.
you know, it'd be better if this group could get together quick from now on.
True. Our best option would be to make a secret hideout where we could discuss these things.
I also like that, like, they were
the
like,
sound of that.
oh, that's
The
why
school
it's
rooftop
King
would work.
Kaiser.
It seems like nobody goes up there.
Oh,
For the time being,
it's
that will make the
obvious,
perfect hideout.
because why else would it be
I can't
King
contact you
Kaiser?
from inside
Yeah.
the palace,
We
so
need some
I'll
sort
stay
of
in this world.
justification for this.
That being
I
said,
was-
I'll
Yeah,
need someone to
I
take
would
care
love
of me.
to see
I'm
if
personally
Cody's
nominating
downfall
you.
comes
You should feel
because
honored.
of a loss here for Cody
So
here in
you.
this competition.
There's no way I
After
can at
all
my
of
place.
the Kaiser shade from
Well,
this
we
season,
now have our hideout, so let's meet there tomorrow.
it goes even to last night, where
Okay,
he questioned
let's go look
why
at my
did
new
Kaiser
residence for this world.
even have a BB comic?
Kaiser? King of what? Going home before he gets to the jury? Like, I don't know, what is he the king of? Why does he even have a copy?
King of America's vote?
Rob, can you imagine?
Stay upstairs while we're open for business.
It's Christmas against Cody against Enzo.
Oh, she's here.
Yes?
Cody goes out,
Lay off the
and then
customers.
Christmas throws the HOH to Enzo.
Sorry if he was
What?
rude.
Why? What's happening?
I don't
Nicole
mind.
goes over to Christmas. She's like, "What did you
You're
do?
getting in the way.
You just sealed
Go
my
upstairs.
face." And Christmas goes, "No,
No.
I sealed
Those
your
are
partner's
right.
face."
Be amazing.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
First of all, I can't believe that Cody would let the producers go to
Wait, I do not remember how long this prologue is.
like that. Second of all,
It's
I'm
like
kind
tutorial
of upset
section.
that
Oh, that
we
customer
didn't
just
get
now.
more of this
She's the
throughout
head
the
doctor over
season.
that
Like, I would have
clinic
loved,
down
like,
the
what was the
street.
season
Rumor
with
has it she
Survivor
gives
Ghost
pretty
Island where they
crappy
had like a bunch of the
examinations,
replays
sells
of like
some weird
Yeah.
homemade
epic
medicines
mistakes
on
and
top
stuff?
of that.
That would have been like
At
the
least
perfect thing
that's
to do
what I've
for
heard.
All Stars
I
after
haven't
what,
been there
14
myself.
years.
They
To
should really
see a
just
bunch
leave
of
her
repeat
alone.
comps, and then we get
It's not
some
like she's getting
Big
in the way
Brother
of their
lore
lives.
mixed in with that. Like, it would have
Hey,
just
are we
been so
there
easy
yet?
for the audience and for the players themselves. Obviously, this one would have been
I
lost
gotta get home and start making
on
dinner.
like Cody, because he was like, he was looking at that clip like, okay, like, so. But I would have enjoyed that a lot. Cody could never and will never.
What is this
Did you
place?
see when Julia
this some
announced
kind of
that they,
abandoned
like,
house?
the former All Stars coming? Like,
Hey,
they
are you-
did a cut to Nicole's
I was
face,
wondering why I heard me out.
and you just
What did you
know
bring it here
that
for?
she was seeing stars, as in Janelle stars. She was like, "Oh my God, Janelle's coming."
Why would they have her here? They ended the show. I thought that
No,
I think that Julie, they did not get a
look,
sign off
this
tonight.
place
They
is a
just went right
restaurant.
to the house guest, and then we
Animals are
awkwardly
no-go.
listened to the house
No.
guest
Guess you
talk
might
crap
say
about
I'm
Kaiser
pretty
for
happy.
20 seconds.
Fine. But keep it quiet when we're open for business. And don't
No.
let it roam downstairs. Or I'll toss it out. Oh, and I'm not going to take care of it. That's all on you.
Is
I
that the
love
ruler
that
of this
cat. I
place?
love that.
He seemed pretty understanding
Oh,
for
boy.
someone who keeps it cramped up in this dump. But again, I suppose to normal people I just sound like a meowing cat.
Yeah, that's all it is to it.
Alright.
He was nothing but nice to all these
Serious.
people. I don't understand.
Except for that speech at the end. He called Cody a
Make sure you watch that dish.
That was
Welcome
it.
to
By
Big
the
Brother.
way,
Dot
yeah.
gift.
Have you decided on a
Okay.
name?
Let's take some questions. Yeah, Mom, what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna
I
say,
was
it's like
hoping I'd get
they're upset because like people like Janelle and Kaiser are universally liked.
Looks like the
that
chief likes me better than
claim
you.
to care that you don't want to give a shit. Oh, excuse me. you
And
don't
to
want
be
to give a
honest,
damn about
This
what
place is heaven compared to
the
Kamoshida's
audience thinks,
cells.
so it's like, can't have it both ways, girl. Like,
Remember how you
either,
guys
know,
asked
own
me
it or
before
not.
about what I am? To be honest,
Let's take
I
question
don't remember
number one.
anything
Wall
about my
Yellers
life.
suck. That's
I
for you,
think the
Karen.
metaverse's
Do you think
distortions
that
make
Julie
me lose
Moonves
both my memories and my true
is
form.
smitten with Memphis because she didn't tell him how many votes he lost by? Possible. That, she might be rusty on her
I
Big
already
Brother
told you.
10 trivia.
I'm an honest to
Well,
God
what
human.
the problem
if I
was
were
that she was
originally
like,
just a cat,
I don't need to
how
tell
could I
Memphis
talk?
about the committee.
It
I
doesn't
don't
make
need to
any
tell Memphis
sense.
about the committee. And then she
There's
forgot
no
to
doubt
tell
that the
him
distortions
about
will cause me to lose
unanimously.
my real self.
Yeah, she could
I'm
have
sure
said
that once
that
they're
you
purged,
lost
I'll
to
finally
Dan
be able to
Kiesling.
get that self back. And
And
I
a
have a pretty good
7-0
idea on how to
vote.
do it too.
Yeah.
That's why I was in the castle in the
Yeah.
first place.
Okay. Alright. Seth says, what was
Come
with
to
that
think
hallway
of it,
interaction
I
during the
didn't
voting
get
between
hungry
Enzo
over
and
that
Cody?
night.
Cody was mad for not totally blindsiding him.
Let me
Did
make
anybody
myself
catch
clear.
that?
Your
I
taking
feel-
care of me won't be for nothing.
Yeah, I
It'll be
believe
give and take.
is
Due
a
to
guess,
my
but I
knowledgeable and
believe what was
dexterous
happening
nature,
there is
I
that
have a lot of
they were
intel
sort
on
of
infiltration
reenacting
tools.
Nicole asking Enzo who to vote for last week. They were just joking about that last night. And so
I
when
can't tell
Enzo
you
was
more
like,
unless we
how do I
settle on a
vote?
deal.
Cody was like,
In
come
exchange for
on,
you keeping
stop
me
it.
here.
I
I'll teach you about these tools.
I know.
How does that
Oh,
sound?
come on!
That was
Alright.
quick.
Nick says, with Cody and Enzo likely teaming up against Christmas in this comp,
I
does
like
she
that
have
answer.
any chance of winning it? Should we just pencil Cody and
Then it's a
Enzo
deal.
into the final 3 now? Not necessarily, because it's gonna really come down to the veto.
Yeah, this is actually probably worse for Cody that they can guarantee that Christmas loses because Christmas winning would have guaranteed Cody a spot in the final 3 because neither Nicole or Enzo vote Cody out.
Skillful infiltrations and
Christmas
escapes
can't
to
vote
all
if she's
manner of
HOH, but if
places.
she's not HOH, she now
There's
can
even the
vote.
possibility that
And
you use
means
special
if she wins
tools
the
and had
veto,
someone who
she has the
manufactured
ability
them.
to vote somebody out. So if Cody's not HOH,
Answer
if
me.
he wins the veto, he's gonna go home. So it's actually not. It's not necessarily advantageous for Cody.
And does Cody know this
Thou
now?
art I.
Yes.
I have to
acquired a
imagine that
new
he
vow.
thinks it to some degree, but I think
It shall
Cody's
become the
mind, he'd
wings
still
of
probably
rebellion
rather
that
take the
breaketh thy
risk
chains of
not having
captivity.
Christmas in the final 3 at all,
With
and
the
just
birth
knock
of
her
the
out of the
magician
competition and then
persona,
take his chances
I
with
have
veto,
obtained the wings of blessing
then
that
have
shall
to,
lead to freedom
deal with
and
Christmas in
new
the final 3.
power.
This is from Robin Gibbs. Does Enzo really think his goodbye messages will work on the jury? Cody just blew up his game more. I'm so pissed at his diary room BS. You got no balls.
I'll
That's
lecture you
it,
about the
yo.
infiltration tools
Robin,
over
I'm
time.
very upset.
I mean, go off, Robin.
By the way,
I mean, that's exactly
the
what
power
we've
you
been
used in the
dragging.
palace was
Like,
Fuck,
seriously
this is so
limited.
long.
The
I
stronger
don't
the
know
power
if.
gets, the more
And I mean,
reliable
I
it'll
think
be
that
as
Enzo
trump
does
card.
believe that kind of stuff works because
Alright.
we don't see
I'm
any
gonna
other
stick with
kind
you
of
wherever
behavior
you
from
go
him.
from today
So
on.
I think that he
Personas
knows that
are
he
the
needs
strength
that he
born
needs
from one's
another
heart.
move, but
Depending on what kind of life experience you gain,
I
it'll
honestly,
affect that power
I
as
honestly
well.
feel like he's not even thinking about it.
And
I
if
feel
you
like
become
he's just
acquainted
like
with
he's
capable
not thinking
people,
of it in his,
you
to
might
use
learn
his
various
goodbye
useful
messages in a
skills
strategic
too.
way. I think
This
he's
is all
just
part of our deal.
giving a
Got
goodbye
it?
message in his brain.
Enzo is
expect
the
great
epitome
things from
of
you.
a social player.
Don't let me down, okay?
In the modern game, which is, and he recognizes this fact, which is, I'm just going to have better relationships with the jury. So when I go to the final 2, they're gonna vote for me. That's how it's worked out multiple times in the last few seasons. That's what I'm doing, and what I'm showing to them is, hey, I was on your side. I had the better relationship with you. It's those other people that got you out.
You guys
He
send
was
messages
closer
to I want him
Memphis. He
too.
was
I
closer
So,
to Tyler.
I'm gonna have to ask you to type for me.
Exactly.
why do people like? It's just crazy to me that like, cause I get that line of logic only so far because
Alright,
Vladdy is
so
the
Andrew?
only person that has good relationships with people in the jury.
He
Maybe
genuinely does have the best relationships, though. I mean, to be fair.
but even so, like that's like it can't be enough, Enzo. It just cannot be
Still
enough.
answer. Next is
Because
continue
Cody
on.
is not
No?
a bad
Good
guy.
question.
Cody hasn't really pissed anybody off.